gone. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is blessing.
This is the
What?
This is that your philosophy for life? Are you
Maybe.
your philosophy
today.
Welcome everybody to American in Yerevan. You are listening to 103.0 Radio Van with Ina MK
And Steven Oxner. Steven Oxner, could you please make my headphone even a little higher, because
louder.
these are the blessings of progress.
Okay, the blessings of progress. Our headphones so that we can hear each other.
There you
Hear
go.
you if you call us. By the way, you can call us at any moment. Just dial
1050-901 Radio Van.
560901. We are here from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday and Friday, talking in the good old English American language.
Yeah, and we really missed this studio.
Yeah, we
Steven,
did.
I really missed you.
I don't know if anyone called
Here.
us over the past couple of weeks, but we had recordings running because I was away.
And I also had my lonely show.
You had a lonely show, but it went so
Without
well,
you.
I think. It went so
But
well.
we had
You
a
had a wonderful
guest
guest who brought
saved
us
me.
today. She brought us Cinnabon.
Yeah.
This is not an advertisement, but it is a fact. We are sitting in a studio
Blessing
full
and
of
a
Cinnabon
curse
right
of
now.
dessert.
And that brings us to our theme of the day.
And I can't wait
Blessings
to have the music break to
and
enjoy
curses.
them.
Blessings and
Yeah,
curses.
blessings and
or,
curses.
to be more accurate, the blessing curse.
Yeah.
Which, as it turns out, is everything, right?
Soon on the screen, on the big screen. Blessing curse.
On the screen of Moscow Theater. Blessing curse.
And ladies and gentlemen, just remember, before we go to our music break,
Yes.
I want to remind everybody that you are too blessed to be stressed.
Oh, no. I can see what kind of evening this is shaping up to be. Lots and lots of very wise words from Ina MK, so stick around. We're here till 11 on American in Yerevan on 103.0 Radio Van. The many blessing curses of life
Is love.
when we say those special 3 words. Oh, why did I say that?
Hey, Steven, that breath that you just took, that's a gift.
Oh, come
That's
on.
a blessing, Steven.
Ina. So while we had our break, we ate a Cinnabon.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how that goes with things like
yummy.
sugar or chocolate. When you're eating it, it's like, oh, this is
piece
so
of
good.
happiness.
Oh, it's so good. This is such a blessing. I love it. And then 10 minutes go by,
And you feel guilty.
and you sit there and you're like, oh man,
Why
that
did I do
hurts.
this?
Why did I eat so much? Ah.
How could I be such an
That's-
idiot?
So I experienced the blessing about 10 minutes ago, and now I'm experiencing the curse, which is so fitting. I wonder if that's why the universe brought us the cinnamon rolls today. Is that why?
Yes,
So we
I
can talk
think.
about this as it's going on?
Nothing happens in vain.
Nothing.
Everything is for
Are
a
you just
reason.
going to answer in cliches for
Yeah.
the entire meeting?
Everything happens for a reason, season, or a lifetime.
But our dear listeners, Cinnabon is not the only blessing curse in life. For example, if someone has a talent,
Oh, yeah.
it could be any kind of talent. A talent for writing, a talent for
Acting.
acting, a talent for music, a talent for saying
Foresight.
puns, a talent for foresight. That is like so many people from the outside, they go, man, you are so lucky. You have a talent. You know what is right for you, and you know what you need to do. And then for the people who have it, sometimes it's like, I can't believe I have to keep doing this thing just because I'm good at it.
Yeah, and some people who do not find an appropriate job, for instance, they feel this guilt, or they feel that they are cursed because they have this talent and they cannot use it anywhere, so they feel unhappy, and that's again a cycle.
Yeah. Well, in that case, it's, I think, I wonder, yeah, it's almost like these blessing curses, they have like a certain kind of ratio or a certain kind of percentage. So in that case, it's kind of
It's
like
both.
it's kind of like an 80-20 split, like 80% curse, 20% talent,
And
or a
vice
blessing.
versa.
Yeah, and then it could be the opposite. But then again, when someone is very painfully talented and very painfully successful, I feel like they suffer from the same kind of curse in a way.
Yeah,
Like Amy Winehouse or
Yeah.
Bob Dylan in his time, or the Rolling Stones, even though they're still alive.
I have an example of a lady whom I know. She has a gift of foresight, just like I said a few minutes ago, and she doesn't really think it's a gift. Most of the people consider it to be a blessing. You know, you're
You can
so
help
lucky
so
because
many people.
and also a lot of people like they they want to know so much what's gonna be in the future,
Of
in their
course, of
future, like
course.
all the cards
Yeah,
and the horoscopes,
the palm reading.
yeah, the palm reading, the coffee reading,
The coffee reading, of course. Yeah,
everything. And
Reading the
so a
rocks.
lot of people think that she's so lucky that she can that she knows a lot of things that's gonna be in the future, but she doesn't really think this way, and she wishes that she never knew
No
certain
way.
things.
All
Yeah.
the time, she thinks it's a curse, basically.
Most of the time she wishes she never had this gift, because like sometimes she says she knows when her friends are gonna die or her loved
my
ones and
gosh,
stuff
yeah.
like that, and
Yeah.
which really happened.
Wow.
So there are some things that it's better not to know, you know.
Such as when your friends are going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a things
But she
like-
probably also knows when people are going to be born. And
yeah.
that's cool.
Also, yeah, that's cool. She knows both good and bad stuff, and so it's again just like you said, 20-80.
It's a 20-80 split.
Yeah.
Well, what about we were listening to that song Love. Say something stupid like I love you. In a
Then
lot
I
of
go
ways.
and spoil it all by
When I
saying-
was younger, I used to think that people, when they fell in love, they felt like only euphoria, you know? That it was like the best thing that could happen to a person. And then I was
And
studying,
then they
I was
lived
studying in
happy
Moscow,
ever.
and it became clear that what I was doing in this scene was where the person was in love was incorrect, because I was coming from the wrong point of view. And my master at the time, he talked about how almost every time he fell in love, he remembers feeling just awful the whole time, because you have this desire for more and more and more and more of the person,
and possessing.
especially if you don't know whether that person is going to agree to go on this love quest with you. It's like only a curse, and you feel like awful, and you go your whole day not eating, and you don't sleep. You forget that water exists.
And you know what happens then? Then some people say, "Oh, be happy that you're able to love, that
Yeah.
you're capable
Yeah, that
to
you're
love,"
capable of loving.
because there are some people who live entire life and they don't even know what it is like to fall in love or to love somebody.
Yeah.
So that's again blessing. But they don't love me back. Oh, don't worry, you're able to love. That's
Don't worry.
that's a
At
blessing.
least you're
You're too
capable.
blessed to be stressed.
There are oh gosh, okay, we better go to the next song before you get too into this. We're gonna listen to "Knocking on Heaven's Door" by Bob Dylan.
Oh yeah, I love this
Dylan,
one.
stick around. We're still here on 103.0 Radio Von.
And call 560-901.
I can't live without your
We are still here on 103.0 Radio Von.
With Steven Oxner.
And in MK, this is an evening English-speaking program called American in Yerevan. I am an American.
And I'm Yerevan.
You're in Yerevan.
I am Yerevan. There is a song. Yerevan tunu shenkche, Yerevan menke.
How can you be a city?
Because
Can you
there is a
explain
song in Armenian which says Yerevan
Oh,
is
it's
not a building.
poetry.
Yes, Yerevan is not houses and buildings. Yerevan is us.
Is us. Huh?
God.
Just have to remind myself of that fact every time I see one of those new, big, tall buildings and think that, there used to be probably a cool building made of tooth in its place.
An old.
Yerevan is not its
old-
buildings, it is you and I.
Yeah. And
Can we break this down just for a minute? We're talking about things that are blessings and curses, or as we have coined the term, blessing curses.
Yeah.
And can we just talk about, because it can just be a blessing. This is like something we say in languages. Like, it's a blessing. I bless you.
Such a blessing.
I bless you with something. I wish for you that this and this and this happens. And I'd like to tell you a story because there's a lady on Abovian, very, very kind elderly woman who is, of course, having a hard time. And every time I see her, I give her my change, what I have in my pockets. And every time I see her, she says, "Oh, thank you. You are so honest, so true, and so brave. I
so
wish that
kind."
you give birth to 17 more sons like you."
Oh my goodness.
17 more sons just like yourself.
And of course, children are a blessing, but
Can you imagine me with 17 of anything?
that's too
17
much blessing.
I can't imagine having 17 gerbils. 17 sons that are all just like me? I would go crazy. So for her, it's a
So-
blessing. And for me,
It's kind of like a curse.
not sure.
Not sure.
I'd have to wait to see if I have 17 of them.
There's this lady again in the streets asking for money, and a lot of my friends know her, and they don't give her money.
Does she
ever.
say, "Will you help an invalid"?
No,
No, not her.
she just
Okay.
comes to you and says, "Give me money."
She says, "Just give me money."
She's really kind, like, "Oh, please give me money." And when you give her a little change, like 20 drum coin or something like
Yeah.
50, once she threw it back on me and started to curse me.
What did she say?
Like, "What is this little money you're giving me? May you blah 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 blah." I don't know. I don't want
Yeah,
even to
You don't even repeat it. Yeah, because
repeat it.
I wonder if what
And so
she's
I
saying-
remembered her,
Uh,
and I'm never gonna give her money again.
So you're never gonna give her money again?
No, ever.
Yeah, it is hard, and I wonder sometimes about my own life, like when the universe or God, or if there is anything out there watching out for me when they give me like something in my life, and I'm not grateful for it. I wonder if that thing will ever come back. Do you ever have that feeling?
Yeah,
I have that feeling a lot.
I think it's
Where I'm
the
like,
same.
man, I'm just so ungrateful for what's going on right now, even though it could be like a total blessing, like something that's actually helping me. And then some time goes by, and I start thinking, oh gosh, why wasn't I thankful? That's never gonna come again.
Yes, it's about attitude, the way you react to certain things going on, and then, but that the same thing I think goes with the talent. When you don't,
If you don't,
if you don't
appreciate
use
your
it,
talent?
if you don't appreciate it, if you don't use it for the good, like for good,
yeah,
to share
Yeah.
some good stuff with people, or I don't know,
it comes
whether
back to
you're a
bite you.
painter or you're an actor, it can be taken away from you.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who, for instance, do not sing, but they have a really beautiful voice, and
Mhm.
they never used that talent.
Mm-hmm.
One day they found out that they lost it. They cannot sing anymore.
That's what they say about languages. If you don't use it,
You
lose
lose
it.
Yeah, right. That's
Don't-
right.
That was my attempt to match Ina's consistent reading of different sayings this evening that rhyme. If you don't use it,
You
you
lose
lose it.
it.
But I don't think it went over as well as I was hoping.
Well, life is kind of like a blessing and a curse at the same time.
That's what I wanted to say to you when you said, "You know that breath you just took?
Yeah,
That's a blessing."
that's a blessing.
Yeah, but it's a curse because I'm still alive.
The air that I breathe is a blessing.
Unless you're in Moscow. Because then
Unless
the
you-
air that you breathe is actually just exhaust.
Unless you work at some chemical
Yeah.
factory.
And you forgot your chem suit today. You
Yeah.
just forgot to bring it to work. So you have to just breathe chemicals all day. Don't go away. We're still here discussing blessing, curses, blessings now, and curses, which are coming up very soon on 103.0 Radio Von. And don't forget, you can call us at 560901. By the way, something that we will talk about, technology,
Yeah.
is I would just like to say that you can call us from somewhere else. I mean, not from
That's a
Yerevan.
blessing.
You can call us from anywhere in the world.
And you can listen to us by downloading our application on your smartphones, listening to us anywhere you go. That's a blessing.
That's a blessing too. Stick around. We're here till 11 talking about blessing curses with Ina MK.
And Stephen Oxner. May the red wreath stay on your forehead forever. May you eat under your pillow for the rest of your days.
How can you?
May you go enter the ground.
Oh, how can you say that? Enter the ground.
May you go away and never come back. May your tongue go dry.
For
May all you eat remain in your stomach. That's awful.
not in my stomach.
The ground on your head. May it snow on your head. Or this one. May you turn into a fly and stick to the wall.
Not to the what? Not to the wall.
May your dreams stain your stomach. May no dog eat from your hands.
No.
May your house be built of black stone.
Wait a second. I would love to have a house made of black stone.
Okay, we'll switch that to blessings. This was, ladies and gentlemen, dear listeners, this was a list of Armenian folk curses that can ever sound from a really upset person's mouth.
Oh, that was an amazing list.
Steven,
I love it when we get to translate those.
This is really
it always comes out in
funny.
such a funny way.
We have a list of blessings.
The ground
as
on your
well,
head.
though. The ground on your head. May no dog eat from your hands. Even the dog.
Even a dog. May no dog eat from your hand.
Ever. Steven,
I have to say, these are pretty impressive.
Are there any, like, curses like this in America?
Oh, there've got to be. But usually it's just, go to... Beep. Why don't you go to... Beep. No, you.
Those are curse words.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
Yeah.
look at you. Those are curse words. Yes, we are covering all of the great and wide areas of blessing curses today here on American Yerevan.
Oh, we have a caller.
What fine timing.
And I wonder if this caller knows that there's a surprise for them.
Oh, I don't know if they do. Oh, look at that. I guess they
Come
knew.
on.
They must have known that the surprise was...
There is a surprise
coming.
waiting for you. You out
Should-
there, caller, dear caller, go ahead and try again because I'm
it's
not
waiting
gonna
for you.
say.
That's
I'm
right.
not gonna
We
say
should
what
tell
it is.
him. Let's just tell him.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
so we're talking about blessing curses today, and I thought about this. We said talent, is sometimes a blessing, sometimes a curse. It could be an 80-20 split. It could be a 50-50 split. It could be a 70-30 split. Yeah. And
That was
also
fast.
superpowers, in some cases, can be a curse.
Yeah,
Because while I would love to fly, and while I would love to have just an iron will that cannot be surmounted,
but if you did,
I would
Steven,
never, ever want to face Batman or Superman in a battle.
Yeah, you
And
don't
that
wanna
is what's
because they are
happening.
professionals.
Because they're professionals. What a curse. If you had to go up against Superman, Superman says, let's go. Let's take this outside. What would you do?
You'd lose.
I
Sorry.
think I would. And this is what you have, my dear listeners, the chance to see at the Moscow Theater in Yerevan.
And
Batman
not only
versus Superman. And not only that, right,
Yeah.
exactly, but any film you would like to see at the theater at any time that they have a showing of a film. If you call us at 560-901, because we are giving away 2 free tickets to the Moscow Theater on Abovian, right?
That's right.
Yes.
So go ahead and call right now.
Rush to your telephones.
To get free tickets. 2 free tickets to any movie you'd like.
Any movie at all.
This is an
a good
exclusive
deal.
chance. Can I go from that room and call you?
You want to go? Ina.
Okay.
You had the chance to see Dima Bilan, and now you just want to go see a film. You had a chance to see yours truly in a play.
And I did.
Yeah, you did. You did.
This is what I was going to say just before you said that.
Yes.
You are better than Dima Bilan, okay?
Am I? What about soup?
No.
What
No. You only. Okay, Steven.
I'm no match for Superman.
Before our caller decides to call us back, I'd like to read the list of blessings, if you don't mind.
Ooh, please do.
Because not only curses that we have in our
in Armenia you have blessings as well as curses.
Armenian language.
Wonderful.
Of course, our grandmas and our parents always bless us in like everyday speech. Even they just bless us before we go out of our houses, before we do something important. There's a word.
Okay.
Always.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. May the Lord watch over you.
Oh, thank you.
May God take care of you.
Well.
May your body be alive.
May my... Well, okay. Thank you.
It sounds in Armenian. Janat Sahlini.
May your body be alive.
May your food never come across a stone. May the earth turn to gold by your touch.
Oh, that would be a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whatever you touch turns into gold. How cool that would be. May the earth... Yeah, I read that one. May you grow and blossom.
Oh, like a
a
flower?
Tree.
Or a
Yeah.
tree. Oh, thank you.
Simple like a flower.
Yes.
May you grow old on one pillow. That's for the
Yes.
just married.
I know this one. Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I bet you
by the way,
one.
my brother and his wife sleep on one pillow. Just out of
Yeah.
choice. They just sleep on one pillow. So every time we go on a trip, it's always like, Travis, Norma, you guys only brought one pillow. And they go, we know.
Yeah, they follow the old Armenian
May
traditions.
they grow old on one pillow.
So they will grow old on one pillow and be happy, live happily ever after. May you deserve a wreath and a crown.
Wait a second. Is it red?
No,
And is it... Oh,
it's not red.
okay.
It's just a wreath.
A wreath of
Flowers,
daisies
yeah.
or something.
And a crown.
And a crown.
Hmm.
As long as it's not a crown of thorns, I'm all game.
Yeah. May you reach your dream.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a simple
Yeah,
one.
it's a little
May your
simple.
path be green.
Thank you.
That's all.
That's all of them?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
For
blessing
now.
me in such a fine and bright way. Right now we're going to listen to the Celine Dion.
2 tickets to the cinema. Call
Don't forget.
560901.
We have a very special
And
and young caller, Samvel.
Samulikjan.
Hello.
Hello. Bonses. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
We are very fine, and we are even better after you call us.
Yes. We were having an okay time, but now we're having an amazing
Great
time.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that you are the lucky winner of 2 tickets to Theater Moscow Theater?
Yes,
Yes, you know.
Yay!
Hey,
Congratulations.
I know it.
What are you going to go watch? What movie will you watch?
What?
What movie do you want to watch in Moscow Theater?
In Moscow Theater. I want to watch Batman with Superman.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. And who do you hope will win the battle?
I think Superman.
Ooh! That seems logical. He's the one with the real superpowers. Batman, we all know, just has a bunch of money.
Yeah, a bunch of equipment.
Yeah, Superman has power, but
He has-
Batman technology.
Yeah, how can you beat that? You
Oh,
can't. You can't beat Superman.
Yeah, he's the cool guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can be Superman.
You could be?
Yeah, because
Oh. Would you be able to handle the pressure of needing to save the world every day? You would have to save the world every day.
That's really hard work.
I know that's very.
Difficult job.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Samulikjan. I'm sure that you will be a real hero.
Yeah, you would really do it well. I think.
You're a real superpower guy.
Yeah. Well, and can you tell me if you were to pick one superpower, just one, to have for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It will be a very strong voice.
Wow.
A very strong voice.
Maybe.
Cool
I
idea.
like singing and dancing.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm
Oh.
dancing Michael Jackson every day.
You dance to Michael
Yes,
Jackson every day?
he's really cool at doing it. I saw
Ah.
it. I saw it once, and it was so cool.
Can you do the moonwalk?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's awesome.
So Michael Jackson is alive.
Michael Jackson's alive.
Samvel
In
Baloyan.
Samvel Baloyan.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for calling, Samvel, and talk to your auntie Ina about where to get your tickets to Batman vs Superman.
Yes, Samuljan, I will tell you later how to get your 2 tickets to
Yes.
the movie. Okay?
And is there a song? Is there a song you would like to listen to this evening?
Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal.
Ooh, good choice. Good choice. Okay, here it comes.
Bye, cheeks. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Take care, Samvel.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, Samuljan. Say hi.
Say hello to everybody.
Say hi to your mom and dad.
Yes, we are here in the studio
Singing is a
along.
blessing.
Singing is a blessing. Oh man,
That's
is
for
definitely
sure.
a gift that Ina MK has.
Oh, come
A
on.
blessing of being
I've heard you
at
sing
Radio
on
Von.
a stage during your performance, so I don't know if I am supposed to sing after that.
Can I read you a quote?
Sure.
This quote is by Frank Herbert. And
I
he said,
love quotes.
He said, "Seek freedom and become captive of your desires. Seek discipline and find your liberty."
Oh, that's an interesting one.
It's kind of like it's like a labyrinth a little bit
Again.
in language. Here we go, one more time. Seek freedom and
Uh-huh.
become captive of your desires.
Okay.
Seek discipline and find your liberty.
Got
It's
it.
like a paradox.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
And it's so funny because these things, freedom, desires, discipline, and liberty,
Liberty.
a lot of times are very much
Kind of the
equated to
same.
things like curses and blessings. Like, oh, it's such a blessing to be free. People like say, what did you move to Armenia for? You lived in the land of the free.
Free in the home of the brave.
What are you doing here? And they don't know that
That we're having
just
long
like what Frank
coffee
Herbert
breaks.
said, seek freedom, become captive of your desires, seek discipline, and find your liberty. And I would like to use that as jumping point to talk about living abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I have a
you have
story
something
for
that you
you.
can tell us about living abroad, and I can maybe say something too. But tell me,
course.
because I think I can imagine when you were one of the 50 students who was going from Armenia to study for a whole year in America, I'll bet people were looking at you and going, oh my gosh, you're so blessed. You're so
You're
blessed. I
lucky."
can't believe how lucky you are. You're going to America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
And,
So tell me about
and
it.
they don't even know that the America you face there during your exchange year is not really like the America you see in the movies, you know. New York City and stuff, because you live in small towns with a most of the time you live in a small town, like
Right,
the real
so,
America.
Yeah. It's not like what we have here on the wall in Radio Von,
Yes,
which
exactly.
is this big panorama photograph of New York City.
And
A lot of times you have a big panorama photograph of corn.
yeah, exactly. And there is much to it. Like there's a lot more things, like being away from home when you're 15, being an exchange student, being homesick,
Having to make new friends.
having to make new friends, not being sure if you're gonna make it, not being sure if you're gonna understand all the English around you all
having
the
a
time.
new mom and dad.
Having new mom and
With
dad,
all
new
kinds of new
family,
rules.
new siblings that are younger than you. That being an only child back here in
Oh, right.
Armenia.
Yes.
Also, not being allowed to speak in Armenian like for the first 6 months
I can't
because you
believe
have
that.
to be a
believe
total
that.
integrated into the society that you live now.
So ruthless.
Yeah, so many rules, curfews, a lot of changes, the schedule, mentality, everything. So sometimes the blessing of being in America seemed to me like a curse. Well, let's be honest,
Mhm.
okay? This is how
Sure.
it
This
went.
is honest time.
Yeah, honest time
Yes.
as always. So, but you know what I realized that this is, I have to make it. I'm gonna make it to the end of the year, and besides all the growing experience and all the difficulties that I had, I made so many good friends. I made friends, of course, with my host family, who were really, really nice people.
Oh, the old flip flop.
Yeah, I mean,
The old flip flop
It's-
happened to you.
yeah, the same thing. So at that moment, a lot of moments to me back in the US felt like I'm not gonna make it. And so why am I here? Was this even America I was thinking it should be, you know, and
Could this
everything.
really be the what I was waiting for all that
Besides
time?
all the moments when I went to Disney World and, you know,
Yeah.
and of course all the good moments and the memories I had, of course, with my host family and at school with my friends and stuff, but it was hard. But now, again, this is all about time. You know, when I look back at all my year, I would never exchange my exchange year with anything else, because there is a lot of things that I learned, and a lot of things that I have now is thanks to this year that I
Yeah.
spent there.
Oh wow.
And this
have
is why
similar
I'm
feelings.
sitting here with you, Stephen.
Oh.
And
Oh. Because
Being
you
a
weren't
part
allowed to
of this
speak
show.
Armenian?
yeah, because
Yeah, I have to
because-
really say that it must have worked, because I don't know if anyone can detect while they're listening to Radio Von American in Yerevan, but Ina's English is awesome. And
Oh,
the fact
thank
that it
you,
was 10
Steven.
years ago,
I
the
don't
fact that it was 10 years ago and it was only for a year, not even a year, 8 months, and that after that you came back here where everyone speaks Russian and Armenian most of the time.
and when you don't use it, you lose
And
it.
when you don't use it, you lose it. But unless you're talented like Ina, and
Oh,
You don't
come
use it for a
on,
long time, but you didn't lose it
Steven,
anyway.
Come on. Steven, who's speaking Russian and English, who's doing 7 things at a time on a stage, is telling me that I'm talented. Thank you, Steven. Thank you. Tavatanem. Let me take your pain away. This is untranslatable Armenian slang that we're trying to translate here. Yeah, but this is I know, I'm pretty sure that this is exactly what you feel about your stay here.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's funny because it flip-flops a lot faster for me than it did when, for example, I was living in Moscow. Because when I was living in Moscow, it was kind of like my first time abroad, and when things were bad, they
Yeah.
were bad for a super long time, you know? But then, when I moved home, everything kind of got mixed up, and then, like, I don't know, I remember I told you at one time that I opened a performance space in Colorado, and after my experience in Moscow, I went home and I was opening this performance space, and it was
Yeah.
absolute torture to open this place. But then when I was watching a classical concert inside of a bar, like a club,
Yeah.
with people there drinking, having awesome drinks and really having a good time, and this amazing music, they even played Khachaturian there, and it was
Oh, really?
unreal. It was so cool. I
No
had this
joke.
feeling like this is really a dream come true, even though it was so torturous. And yeah, I guess life kind of just continued in that way.
And there's another thing about being like halfway around the world and spending this 1 year and actually eventually making a home there.
Sure.
When I came back, this feeling that I always have inside, that now I'm divided in two.
Oh,
So it's like
yeah.
having two homes.
Yeah.
No matter where you go. Either if you go back then, that there is home here. If I come back here, I always know that I still have a part of me there.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot run away from this. It always
Yeah.
stays with you during...
Which I'm sure is in itself a
life.
blessing curse. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what I was gonna say. It's a blessing too, and it's a curse, because there is always somebody you miss.
Yeah. And having someone to miss is awesome and horrible at the
Yeah.
same time.
Because you have these people, but
Yeah.
you don't see them.
But you don't get to see them. So that's our show. It's now 10:55, which means that we are signing off until Friday. We're here on Friday at 9 p.m. from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on American and Yerevan. And before we go, I would just like to say something. This is kind of like a little bit of psychological propaganda, I think.
Okay, go ahead,
The fact
Steven.
that we have blessings and curses points to the truth that we invented psychological time. Because if I travel from here to America, for example, it takes time. That takes time. Learning mathematics also takes time. Learning to play the piano takes time. But having something that I miss so far away, or feeling like everything right now is terrible, but in the future it will be great.
Or yesterday it was better than today.
Yeah, or wishing that you have 17 sons just like yourself, or that you get a bunch of earth on your head. All of that has to do with psychological time, which, as far as I can understand, doesn't exist. So, there
Those
we
are
have
the
it.
borders
There
that
is-
we made up.
Yeah, and it's in our power to free ourselves, but only ourselves.
Yeah, and
Only
to
us.
to see the blessings around us. That's for sure.
Yeah.
To notice them. Well, can I add a couple of words to this?
Yes, of course.
Just like anything can be a curse and a blessing, just like, progress and internet
Yeah.
and stuff can be blessing and a curse. Anything can be that way. Family can be blessing and a curse.
Mhm.
A child can be a blessing and a curse. And so there's one thing for sure, that we make our own blessings and curses. So so for me,
Stick with us. We'll be
Okay.
here on Friday talking about something
and
interesting, I'm
stay
sure.
blessed.
Look at all the stones they keep on throwing. I don't